So, you want to play as the officer class? Well, here's a little tutorial on how to play the officer class and what perks and abilities I use. I'm Sergeant Zig-Zag, your ex-serviceman gamer, and welcome to Isonzo Italian Front. The flare gun is what I feel a necessary component of the officer class. This marks, when shooting and popping a flare, this marks the map, so you can call in your artillery, chemical, or aviation, depending on what you need at that time to destroy the enemy from taking your objective. As you can see on this map, I called in a creeping barrage. Notice that the directional arrow in the direction that your barrage is going to be incoming. So popping a flare, as you can see here, I will pop 2 flares in 2 different positions. This will allot me to mark the map. As you can see when I walk up to the call box here, there are 2 spots on the map which I can call in effective artillery, chemical, or aviation. Once these show up on the map, these are the only 2 positions you can call in your strikes. Now, if a mountaineer goes ahead and shoots a flare, you will have additional spots marked on the map. One of the most effective weapons you have as an officer in Isonzo is the whistle. This will tell your troops where to attack, and it will also give an instantaneous spawn to all troops on your team. This is a must to win the battle, soldier. Once you located a call box in Isonzo, which is usually marked by a telephone, this telephone is usually located at an objective or at the respawn points near the flags marked on your map, you can go ahead and call in your bombing runs or your artillery or chemical gas for war crimes. Now, remember, directional arrow is very important. Do not bomb your own soldiers and mark the map to hold the line. Ah, right on target. That gives you some sort of satisfaction. So while you're waiting for the cooldowns in between each strike from your artillery, chemical gas, or aviation, go ahead and defend your objective. As an officer, you want to stay off the front lines because your job is important to diverting the battle and keeping the enemy at bay. One of the most important jobs you have is guarding the objective. As you can see here, I'm hanging at the objective, observing the battlefield, and delaying a victory for the enemy. Here's a quick recap on how to play the officer in Isonzo. So, go ahead and pop your flares. Once you pop your flares, that will mark your map. Once your map is marked and your flares have spotted areas and territories of troops, go ahead and do your call-ins. Here I'm calling in a recon. Hang around your call box and your objectives, observe the battlefield, and see what's going on. Do not go up on the front lines as an officer. You can if you'd like, but that will defeat the purpose of the officer. The officer is basically controlling the battlefield with call-ins and giving orders to your troopers on your team to where to attack. So how I like to play the officer is I like to hang around the objectives, as I said before. I like to give the orders, check the call box, and observe the battlefield to see which way the troops are coming in. And don't forget, your whistle is your most important weapon as an officer. Blowing this gives instant respawns and gives direction for your troops where to attack. Go to your call box, check for cooldowns, and call what you think is necessary to delay the attack of your enemy or your opponent. Keep your head down, officer. Your life is important to the rest of your troops. So hopefully this tutorial will help you on some of the basics, right to the point of the abilities and how to play the officer. The flare gun will spot the enemy so you can call your calling. And the whistle is the most important ability that you have as an officer. You can play around with the other abilities, but I prefer just the whistle and the cooldown. The quick cooldown of the whistle. The reason for this is it's instantaneous respawn on objectives. This can keep you from getting ran over by the attackers. And also, you can earn a lot of medals. I'm Sergeant Zig-Zag, your ex-serviceman gamer. Go ahead and hit that like button. It is highly appreciated. Sergeant Zig-Zag, out.